Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH_sports. All right, this is probably going to be one of my last videos, probably for the next week or so. But I wanted to get this one video in. I'm just going to be really busy the next week. So, anyways, I've done some videos on how I've been buying up Nadal's. And I actually bought more. And I got 4 PSA 10s now, okay? People said, this is stupid, this is idiotic, basically, on the comment section. I saw a lot of bearish sentiment, and I saw, okay, this guy, he's going to be in the Tennis Hall of Fame. A lot of people won't care about that, but he's the top 3 of all time. And a lot of people say that, hey, why would you put your money in tennis when no one's really spent money in tennis? Well, my response is after this whole thing implodes, sports cards, economy, etc., Bitcoin, real estate, commodities, what is the government going to do? They're going to give people who are dependent on government more stimulus checks. This never happened really in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Maybe one time in the 2000s they gave a $600 stimulus check, I believe, during the economic recession. And that's about it. And 2020, they gave stimulus checks. What happened to cards of all kinds? They went up. So it's in my opinion, after this whole crash, they're going to go into tennis cards. They're going to go into all of these other sports. But I wanted to talk about cards that international buyers are going to be looking at. May not look at it right now, but it's in my opinion that the coming decade, you're going to have more investors, more collectors abroad. And the card hobby, while it did do well the past few years, it's going to migrate elsewhere. And not migrate elsewhere, you're just going to see more demand coming from outside the United States. And I believe PSA has stated that they want to increase exposure to places outside the United States. And that's good for the hobby, in my opinion, to get people from all around the world. And I do have some subscribers that aren't located in the United States, and that's awesome. And some people that I follow, one is Avi Gilbert. He is at Elliott Wave Trader, and I've talked about him numerous times. He indicated that he believes that the emerging markets over the next decade is going to outperform the US stock market. He's been more right than wrong. I'm not sure if that's going to hold true, but I'm fairly confident the emerging markets are going to be doing well. And if all this capital is moving to Southeast Asia and abroad, there's going to be more richer people there. They're going to want to park their money somewhere. And if you look at it, you have to notice that one of the sports they like abroad is tennis. What other sport do they like? They like soccer. You also have a lot of interest in basketball cards. And I had to decline this call. I noticed that there are many individuals in Southeast Asia that are buying basketball cards. And specifically the Philippines. I believe that there's at least one subscriber from the Philippines that follows me. And I went to a card store, and the card owner said that it's really popular in the Philippines. And if you look at it in China, for instance, if you look at the majority of the revenue of the NBA, whenever you talk about NBA in China, people get into heated discussions. I'm not trying to get into those discussions right now. $5 billion approximately. This is my research. $5 billion out of the $8 billion comes from China. That's crazy if you think about it. I believe a little more than $1 billion comes from Tencent, however you pronounce that company's name. So yeah, the NBA is heavily invested in China. And if you have more Chinese millionaires, billionaires, and upper middle class folks, they may want to park their money in sports cards. And what will they watch? Probably they'll watch basketball. And just around the world, looking at the stats, close to what, 1 billion people worldwide watch tennis. And if you have the emerging markets grow, in my opinion, this is where they're going to go into. They're going to go into tennis. They're going to go into basketball. They're going to obviously continue to go into soccer. Now, one sport that they really don't watch too much is American football. That's more of an American thing. But at the end of the day, you have high net worth investors, collectors. They speculate in QBs all the time. So I'm not too worried about that. But if you just look at capital flows, it's going to come from overseas, in my opinion. I mean, they're going to go to Golden. And I was watching this one interview just maybe for like a minute or two. Ken Golden was interviewing some soccer buffs. And Ken Golden was saying that, hey, I have clients all over the world, some in Turkey, some in Saudi Arabia. And he just listed other countries as well. And what's the number one popular sport? Soccer. I'm not into soccer, but whoever is interested in soccer, I mean, after this whole thing implodes, soccer cards are definitely going to be something you guys should watch. You should definitely look into. And like I said, tennis cards, right? 1 billion followers. Another market that many people don't look into, while it is much smaller in terms of viewers, only a few million people watch it worldwide, which is the UFC. UFC, in my opinion, with Dana White, he's been doing the best job out of any leader out there. And it's been growing during the pandemic. And on top of it, it kept people busy during the pandemic. They were losing money, but he still decided to have these matches. He still decided to have these fights. And people will remember that. And Dana White, he allows his fighters to express themselves freely, no matter what they believe politically. And I think that is really good for a sport. Rather than just promote one side of the view, he promotes all sides. And that's, in my opinion, if you allow freedom of expression, then that's what should be done, in my opinion. Now, you may have some goofballs like McGregor say crazy things, but that's what comes with it. And I'm looking at the low population size of all of these UFC cards, 2009 with John Jones, low population count, no one's really looking into. You have Khabib, right? Low population count, 2012, 2013. And he's from abroad, he's from Russia. And if you look at fighters today, the other day, a Brazilian fighter won, I think Charles Oliveira. I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but something along the line. He beat Poirier the other day. And you have Usman, who did live in the United States, I think, since high school, but he's originally from Nigeria. So this is an international competition now. And like I stated, like after 2024, 2025, in my opinion, international folks will want to park the money elsewhere. And then on the side in America, you're probably going to get more stimulus checks, right? After this crazy recession, depression, whatever you want to call it. So they're going to chase. And for those people saying that, hey, you're wasting your money, you're saying the market's going to crash, why would you go in right now? Well, I started in at $750 and I've decreased my basis to, with all these 4 purchases, to around $286. And I'm not breaking the bank. I'm not going into debt for this. And like I told you, I deal with thousands and thousands of dollars in the market on a daily basis through options trades. So spending $100 here, $100 there, it's not going to hurt me. And I remember, like in 2019, I was buying all these cards of Verlander, and people, if I had a channel back then, people would probably say, "Why are you investing in Verlander? His best days are over." Right? $100, and guess what? It tripled. I'm not saying it's going to happen for Nadal, these cards, but I am prepared for this to go, 50 to $75. And if it goes to 2017 levels at $30 in the coming years, I'm going to be an aggressive buyer because in my opinion, this UBI or some form of universal basic income, stimulus, whatever you want to call it, is going to drive these cards higher. And it's going to go, in my opinion, a lot of it to international sports cards. That doesn't mean that American football cards won't go up. I do believe they will go up as well too. But my primary focus right now is to look for cards that international buyers may look into. I have a longer term view on this. It's not that I'm going to aggressively flip. I don't plan on flipping. But right now is to research some of these cards, and I'm looking at Yao Ming cards, right? No one really wants to buy Yao Ming cards now. I mean, basketball is taking a beating right now, or a correction, but just for the long term, I'm just looking for, okay, if it hits my price target, I'm going to be buying it. Some people may say that, okay, Yao Ming is not relevant in the United States. That may be true, but he's huge in China. And if you get more people from Southeast Asia getting in on this game, the price is going to go up. More stimulus coming from the Chinese central bank. And if they give stimulus to their citizens, okay, where will hot money go? So that's what I'm looking at. I know some guys won't agree with this, but in my opinion, international buyers will not come to the rescue, but they're definitely going to step in. All right, let me know what you guys think about this. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll talk to you sometime next week, guys. Thanks. Bye.